Right.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? How's it going today? I can hear myself. Oh, that's probably what it is. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Wednesday live streams, reading Reddit stories with John and Josh. Your Tuesdays, even on a Wednesday.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. Do I hit go live?
John's.
There's two options. It says go live with your browser and one with use streaming
Oh my
software.
God,
Which
don't
one do
touch
I
it.
click? I'm not touching anything. I'm not the technology person.
How's it going? Okay, you talk to chat then for a second.
Hello, chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from, whatever part of the world you're in. How are you guys doing today? Where's everyone from? We always like to ask that question in the beginning. Sending love from Berlin. Hi, Robin.
Okay, we're
And Josh,
live.
they said you are a little bit low as
I am?
well.
Okay. I can turn up then. How's that?
Belgium. Hello, Scarlett from Belgium. Ooh, Philippines. Hey, Frey, how you doing? My mom is actually in the Philippines right now, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Howdy from Dallas from Burley. Hello. I don't want to be here. Do you like being in Dallas, Burley? Because I don't. Canadian and local, Demigirl Magic. Hello. Trinidad and is it Tobago or Tobago?
Tobago,
Correct.
I think.
Is it?
I think so. I said that unconfidently.
Indiana, St. Lucia. Is that the one with the nice airport where
St. Lucia?
St. Lucia, where it kind of pretty close to the landing? I don't remember.
I don't know. Also,
it's Tobago. There
Tobago.
You go.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a question for Wikimaniacs in chat though.
Gasp.
Before the show, John and I were talking, and he didn't know what chicken souvlaki was.
I did not know what that was.
Okay,
so where's the dish from?
I believe the Mediterranean. If I were to guess, I'd say Greece, but I also that's where I first learned about it was Greek.
What does it look like? Is it like a kebab?
Yeah. Well, it can be. It's like the actual chicken.
Oh, okay. That sounds good, actually.
I'll show pictures here. We have that technology. Maybe. As I try to show it.
Someone says no clue what you're talking about, a Middle Eastern on.
Really? Okay.
See, I'm not the only one.
This is surprising to me.
So it's Greek. It's Greek food.
It's Greek food, yeah.
Okay. I'm not well too versed in Greek food. I'm very basic knowledge when it comes to Greek food. Oh, it's a street food from Athens. I've never been to Greece, so I would love to go there someday.
I'm gonna bring it up here.
I'm admittedly very white.
Yeah, so
is Josh.
It's cooked on a kebab.
Okay, that looks good.
But then it's like in gyros a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very delicious.
That looks very delicious.
Yeah.
Although I've had chicken like Greek like chicken from Greek restaurants, the way they marinate it with yogurt, it's just so delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I love tzatziki.
Me too.
Which is a yogurt base. I actually had just had it for lunch. I had that's what we were talking about because I had it for dinner last night and then I burnt myself making it. And then all that came up. So I wanted to see if I wasn't insane, but
no. And Emily, there's this one thing, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's like a flaming cheese salganaki. I do fuck with that heavy. That shit's really good.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Well, damn, Siri. I ain't talking to you, girl. What are you talking about?
That's I don't even want to say her name.
Yeah.
Her actual name. That's crazy how many times that's happened on the podcast.
Well, it happens to Sean a lot, actually.
It does.
Between her and the other Alex A, they be spying on me too much, bro. Too much. And I be saying some stupid shit all the time. I'm like, hopefully you guys are not, tracing.
Oh man. But yeah, today we're gonna do some stories like we do every recently every Wednesday.
For the most part.
For the most part.
I will skip a Wednesday on April. I apologize,
Yes.
Wikimedia.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do then. And we won't be here next Wednesday because that's Patreon and YouTube members only.
For the rich.
Yeah, Sean will be here for that one. I hope.
It's the only time he shows up because they pay him.
yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna do some stories. It's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna come. I knew I paused at the wrong side. I was gonna say it's gonna come to audio.
Speaking of coming, please go buy our merch. So Sean could come to more of these.
Yeah. Smokey says, when are y'all planning to do another gaming stream? That's a great question. This month has been busy for me, so it's been problematic to get me time after like in the weekends or something like that. And then Sean's also gone back to school and working full time. So
yeah,
making it difficult. But we're thinking probably in April we'll do one sometime. Probably the one where John is gone.
Yeah, because I'm always also leaving all the time.
Yeah. So we'll try around then. Horror co-op game when?
Oh no.
I think it'd be funny to have Sean play it.
What's a good scary horror game? I heard Outlast was pretty good.
Outlast is a good one.
Oh, there's another
classic Slenderman.
Oh, that would be good too. I used to be obsessed with this camera game in PlayStation before. It was Crimson something.
Okay.
Oh no, Fatal Frame. I'm sorry. Fatal Frame was such a good game.
I don't know that one.
Evil Inside. I've heard Evil Inside is good.
True. So yeah, we'll do a gaming stream sometime. We'll do a horror.
Oh my god, 2 cats.
Oh,
Josh.
they can't see it.
No.
Here. I opened up. They can't hear you now, John, but anyway. But yeah, that's most of our announcements. John, do you want me to hop into my first story today?
Hop into it, brother.
All right. I'm keeping with the theme of food because mine surrounds a food story.
Racist.
This one was posted on r/pettyrevenge by user coffeebeans2836. And the title is, Mother-in-law kept guilt-tripping me for not eating her Indian cooking, so I started bringing my own dishes and giving her the same treatment. Now she's suddenly not hungry too.
I think that's fair.
Okay. Thoughts on Indian food?
I love Indian food. Love it. It kind of depends on the place though. Sometimes they be making it a hella spicy, which I'm okay with. But Julia's a very mild person, so
Yeah.
sometimes when she eats something too spicy, we order way too much mango lassi afterwards. But in this situation, if you probably told your mother-in-law that it's not your food preference, and you will always say food is a preference for a lot of people, I'm okay with the petty masala that you bought to give your mother-in-law.
Okay, that was not the strongest pun, but
I wasn't trying to make a pun. I was just go serve that revenge, baby.
Okay. All right. So my Indian mother-in-law thinks that she is the best cook in the world and that everyone, including her son and daughter-in-law, should beg for her cooking. Well, culturally, I'm not used to a lot of Indian food because of the spices.
I know it. It's white.
But I will try to eat the ones I can enjoy. A lot of the times I tell her politely I'm not hungry or I'll munch on some, but sometimes that's not a good enough response, and she'll start guilt-tripping me with, so you don't like my cooking? Or, everyone loves my food. Why don't you? My significant other will usually jump in to stop her, but it always puts me in a weird spot since on day one of meeting me, she told me point blank that she doesn't like Chinese food. I am Chinese, and it kind of threw me off because there are so many varieties of Chinese food, and for her to just say that she hates the entire category seems odd to me.
Never mind. Not
Not
white.
white, John. You're
Not
racist
white.
today.
You know what? That's fine. Okay.
um, so I recently started bringing food I made whenever visiting her and telling her how excited I am to cook for her and that I hope she likes my cooking. She usually brushes it off, saying she's not hungry or that she'll eat it later. I turn the tables on her, looking sad and asking her why she doesn't like my cooking. It's very entertaining to watch her try to make excuses she knows are BS. She hasn't asked me to eat her stuff since, so I guess this petty revenge is working. And that is the end.
Not the asshole.
Not the S. Okay. Wrong one. Wrong one. I'm not on
Oh
Friday.
yeah. It's one of those situations where it's like sometimes I know there might be there's obviously a cultural difference in here, but I'm glad hearing the story that your partner does step up to their mother and say like, hey, just leave them the hell alone. If they say they don't want it, they don't want it. And you had to, unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, fortunately, you took the right steps and say like, hey, if you can't dish it, or if you can like dish it, well, how come you can't take it type of situation?
Dish it
So you
like
know what I'm talking
food.
about. So that's the point I was going for, Josh. But yeah, so it's kind of a good lesson that the mother-in-law is learning about, boundaries and respecting people's boundaries. So if they can't handle, the food that they're going to be served, then they shouldn't like impose it on people. I understand that some people get really passionate about cooking, and for a lot of times too, like food is a cultural experience, but
Mm-hmm.
it has to go both ways, right? If you're forcing or not forcing, if you're insisting that you try, you know, a certain food, you also have to be open-minded to do the same, like vice versa. Otherwise, then that's just not fair.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I think it's insane to also be like, I hate all Chinese food because, like OP said, there's such a variety of
Yeah.
Chinese food. They might not like Americanized Chinese food. That's maybe fair.
Too sweet.
uh, but yeah, like it's the same like with any cuisine, except for Sean with British food apparently.
I mean,
He just hates it all out, altogether. um, but like there are certain parts of like I'm not a big fan of one of the biggest Indian staples, butter chicken. Not my thing.
that's fine.
But
Yeah.
tikka masala, I'll fuck with some tikka masala. And it's just like there's certain Chinese dishes that I don't enjoy, and there's some I do enjoy. And it's just like to blanket statement all food in a category is, I don't know. It's pretty ignorant in my opinion because it's just like you are just cutting yourself off from everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so many good foods out there. Why limit yourself?
Yeah, I know we like shit on beans on toast all the time. And Jody, sorry, you said beans on toast is amazing. Personally, not for me, but a lot of times too, it's tied to like there's a history for food, right? Like for us, like I know Italians hate the way we make spaghetti because Filipinos when they make spaghetti, it's sweet as fuck. But there's like a whole history behind it too. So it's like, all
Right.
right, well, during the war, like we couldn't afford like tomatoes can't really grow in the Philippines as well, and we didn't have that much like refrigeration and all these processes, so we had to make do what we got. So a lot of times too, food also has to do with kind of what we had to make do back then. Like spam is another thing. Like uh for a lot of people, like spam is frowned upon because it is just like a bunch of meat put together, but that was the kind of thing that we had during wartime. So like a lot of
Yeah.
people just kind of stuck to it, and it's comfort food for most people. It doesn't have to be your thing, but let's not disrespect people. We can make fun of them like in a jokey joke way, but disrespecting like a food's culture is kind of fucked up in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to talk to Sean after.
Oh no. Let him have it because those sound bites are gold.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Quick shout out to D Nice, Sean's
Mm.
favorite. Subscribed for 5 months and said, "Hi guys, someone asked my brother-in-law about the gaycation shirt, and he let them know about Reddit on Wiki. Or my get therapy, pull over to work. Ha ha ha." So thank you
Nice.
for signing up to that for 5 more months, and love to see the the gaycation shirt's getting some questions. That's great.
I did have a question on Patreon regarding membership and why like Apple Podcast is playing ads on the Patreon feed. Olivia, we don't know why that is. We'll ask Patreon what that's all about. But if anything, what I suggest is if you can pick up the RSS feed where there's a link to our pinned bio on our Patreon, just refresh your feed, and chances are that's probably going to end up going away.
Everyone keeps saying turn up my mic, but I have it like nearly maxed
Blasted.
out, and I've turned you down, so I don't know what's happening.
Just deep throat the mic at this point, brother.
I guess
Just put
so.
it fully in your mouth.
I'm just a quieter person. I apologize.
It's just his sultry, sexy radio voice, all right, people?
Yeah, I'll turn John down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, because I'm loud. I'm a naturally loud person.
And then for the Patreon thing, if you're listening to the public feed, which we have, those have ads in it, but there are episodes that should be posted a day before those ones that don't have ads.
Yeah, we got to make money somehow, people.
Just make sure you're listening to the right one.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Moving on to, I guess, my story. As usual, I tried to pick listener submitted stories in the live stream just because we get quite a bit and we don't get enough time to be able to read all of them. So for everyone that submitted all their stories, we appreciate you. We'll try to get to them as soon as possible, but there's quite a backlog, people. So thank you for your patience. All right. My first story is from username Trash Throw Me Out. And this one was submitted on our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki. We're podcast. We're actually a podcast, guys. We exist. The title for this, and I wish you can weigh in, Josh, and as well as the Wikimaniacs on the chat, and hopefully the story too, when we post the links here. But Trash Throw Me Out asked this question: would you see this as a red flag?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I have to see what it is, but I'm going to go with yes. I'm going to guess yes.
Okay. You're saying a listener is a red flag, huh?
Oh, well, I thought they were just asking if we would see this as a red flag.
Oh, okay. I was messing with you.
Yeah, because they could be talking about someone else.
Could be. All right. Story goes as this. Hey, my fellow Wikimaniacs. I know you guys are great at giving insight, allegedly.
Sometimes.
So I made this throwaway account just for this. Sorry if my thoughts jump around. I've been thinking about this for a while and need to get it off my chest. So I'm a woman in my 20s. Without getting into much detail, I was in a toxic and abusive relationship for 4 years before leaving just before COVID. About a year after that, I met a guy. Let's call him Jack, who's about a year younger than me. Sorry, I'm about to burp. I just had a protein shake before this. For almost 3 years now, we've been friends with benefits. He's a good friend, and we've supported each other both mentally and physically, but there's never been a deep feeling of love between us. I know he's on dating apps, and I am too. We have an agreement not to sleep with other people unless we want to end our friends with benefits, but we're also open about our current dating experiences without jealousy. To me, that confirms that neither of us sees this as something meant to be long term. Lately, I've been thinking about what happens if one of us gets into a serious relationship. We talked about it recently, and Jack said that if he got a girlfriend, she'd probably be uncomfortable with him staying in contact with someone he's been sexually involved with, and I get that. But I see things a little differently, and here's why. I've been cheated on a lot, and my view has always been that if someone is going to cheat, they will, no matter what boundaries are in place. I do believe in setting mutual boundaries in relationships and trusting your partner, but I also have a deep rooted fear of being controlled again. My past trauma makes me wary of a partner trying to dictate who I can and can't talk to, especially since I lost a lot of friendships in my last relationship. I have a friend group with a majority male friends, and there has never been any romantic interest there. Most of them now have girlfriends, but even before that, it was always just friendship. And that brings me back to Jack. He was my friend before we became friends with benefits, and I would hate to lose that. Beyond the friendship, he also played a big role in helping me heal from past sexual trauma by providing a safe and judgment free space. I was terrified of saying no before, and with him, I learned that I could without fear. He really carved a path for me to see that it was possible for me to be in a relationship with someone in the future despite all the trauma, which I will be forever grateful for. Another thing, I know this might sound silly, but we also had a continuous snap streak since we met. And the thought of losing that when one of us gets into a relationship kind of sucks. And to be clear, I wouldn't expect to meet up or have long conversations, but I'd like to keep them on socials, mostly just to maintain the streak and maybe send the occasional Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, or quick check in. So, my questions are as follows. Would you see this as a red flag? Is it unreasonable to expect a partner to be okay with this? Am I being toxic for feeling this way? Do others agree that if someone's going to cheat, they'll do it regardless of boundaries put in place? I know I have things to work on and I believe everyone does, but I want to hear other perspectives. If you made it this far, thanks for reading my ridiculously long post.
Um, yeah, I think. Oh, man, this is a tricky one.
It is.
uh, I don't know. Like the cheating one, I personally agree with, just because I've had experience with taking a cheater back and having that bite me in the ass. I think if someone is going to cheat, they will do it regardless.
That part I agree.
Yeah. The the first question is a little bit more difficult. I think that depends on your next relationship, whether they feel comfortable with that, uh, which is a discussion you'll have to have. I can't blanket statement say that's a red flag or that's not a red flag, because different partners will see it differently. And so, yeah, I think if that's something you truly want going forward, you have to find someone that's comfortable with that. And if they're not comfortable with that, and that's a line in the sand for you, then that's what that is.
Yep.
I don't know if I have much better advice than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Like, to answer like some of the questions that they had, I do agree that if cheaters are going to cheat regardless if boundaries are put in place, right? Because I feel like that's what cheaters are. Like, what they do is push boundaries and kind of try to get away with it as much as possible. So that part I agree.
They can grow
Um,
as people, and I personally believe in if people can grow. They have to not be in the same relationship. I believe. I think they have
yes,
to, like, it
May-
has to be a split and have them learn and grow as a person. That's my personal beliefs.
yeah.
But I do think they can eventually grow out of being cheaters.
I have issues with habitual cheaters, man.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, so
that's different. That's
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. And then there's also like, different circumstances too, like when it comes to that. So it's not a black and white statement because everyone's situation is vastly different, right? And it goes for this OP too. I think you're valid to feel how you feel. Personally, it wouldn't be an issue for me if, like, let's say if my partner is still friends with someone they had, relationships with in the past, because that's who they are. That's what they were part of, or that was what part of their lives. And if they choose to stay friends, that means they probably didn't end in a negative way, which a lot of, I think, relationships and breakups or situationships, sometimes they end bad to the point that's like, okay, I don't want to talk to them ever again, which is fair, right?
Yeah,
And it seems like Jack, to you look at Jack as in a different light because they helped you so much in a different way, and they help you see the world in a different light. What I suggest is that, yes, it might suck that potentially down the line, if Jack gets into a relationship, that you know vision of him might change, because it also depends on his partner. If his partner is not comfortable with talking to someone, him
yeah,
talking to someone who had passed with, then that's her or their boundary, and it's like he has to respect that as well. And he has to make a decision if they want to pursue that type of friendship with you. And you're going to have to be okay with that. Um, and again, if you are going to your own relationship and you discuss that very upfront with your partner and they're okay with that or they're not okay with that, you're also going to have to live with the choices and the preferences that they've had. So,
yeah,
my suggestion here is, if the money is there, if the funds are right, I suggest you also seek professional help. So, that way you can kind of, you know, separate the situation with Jack as well and have a professional talk to you. So that way you have better coping mechanisms. So that way, you don't see the world in a different, or you can see the world in a different way outside of like, hey, I'm gonna keep continuing this with the situation Jack with Jack. So and that way you can have a sustainable, like healthy relationships moving forward too.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, many people are giving great advice in the comments here. So, um, yeah, me personally, if like they're hooking up, right? That's what the
Yes, they're
relationship
friends.
is.
Yeah, friends with
Yeah,
benefits.
I think I'd have a hard time, uh, being in a relationship with someone who is his best friends with someone they hooked up with a bunch of times, like
Yeah.
before me. And so yeah, it's all down to everyone's comfort zone and
Mhm.
how they view a relationship. So yeah, figure that out yourself if that's exactly what you want. Um, and sorry, why aren't they trying to be in a relationship?
I don't know. They just said like there's I mean Jack it looks like he's in the dating pool, so he's maybe they just talk to each other exclusive, so like, hey, this is kind of just what it is at this point, which is fine, you know. They
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
seem
No,
like they both agreed upon that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was just curious why they weren't
Yeah.
trying to start a relationship of some sort. But okay, yeah. All right, John. Let's hit my next story here.
Do it.
Uh, this one was posted by a throwaway account on r/relationship advice. And the title is I, 28 female, rejected my husband, 33 male, for the first time, and his reaction grossed me out.
Mm. Did he cry like a baby?
uh,
Did you get the ick from the guy? It's
could
like,
be.
why won't you touch me or something?
Um, yeah, I don't think there needs to be a trigger warning for this one. I would give a mild trigger warning for s- sexual coercion, I guess.
Uh,
But even then, it doesn't go as far as I think that trigger warning would enable. You know what I mean?
okay.
But let that be up to your own discretion. All right, so my husband and I are trying to spice up our sex life. And in brackets, I'm the one actively trying to. He's just along for the ride. We were watching a racy movie, and I asked him if we could choose 2 toys out of our collection tonight. He gave a "Do we have to?" kind of reaction and made a vibrator joke. You weren't far off the baby sounds.
Oh,
We went to the bedroom. I pulled out of the box of toys, and he chose the wand. I asked if he could choose another, and he said no.
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 You gotta say it like a baby now.
Sorry. Because it feels like pulling teeth to try and get him to be proactive in our sex life. It upsets me enough that I told him I don't want to have sex anymore. It's the first time I've ever rejected him, whereas he's probably rejected me at least several times a month. He demanded I come back to bed or he was going to get really pissed. I think that reaction is insane. I've tried to communicate how I feel about our sex life and how it makes me feel unsexy and undesired. He refused to communicate with me, and now I'm sleeping on the couch. Why the fuck are you sleeping on the couch?
Not for real.
We already go to couples therapy or couples counseling. What the hell am I supposed to do? There are some
Damn.
edits, but I'll let you go off on that.
I mean, if they're already going to couples counseling and he's still acting like a brat like that, I mean, there sounds like there's no compatibility here. I feel like intimacy is a big thing for a lot of people. And if one partner keeps discussing that, hey, this is very important to me, and the other one is just throwing a hissy fit, there's got to be some issues here that's unfixable. And I don't think it's something worth moving forward with, especially if you guys are getting a third party and a professional at that to help you get through it. And he's still acting like a damn child.
Yeah, like for me, it's one thing if both of you are actively trying to work on it, but it seems like it's just you. He is
Yeah.
uh, like just not trying at all, not putting any work in. Therapy only works if you put the work in. Uh,
Yeah. And I'll say this too, like she's not entitled to like sex when she wants to, but then it sounds like he was kind of in on it, but then like the moment he kind of got hissy fit, and then he threw that attitude saying like, "Well, get back in here, or I'm gonna get really pissed."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you could have just said no off the bat. Then that could have just let her know, like, hey, not into it,
I'm not
type
in the
of shit.
mood. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is a perfectly valid thing to say. But you also gotta realize that if that's been your issue this whole time in his marriage, then you can't fault her for wanting to leave your ass for that.
BBJZMN said it's never sexy to make sex feel like a chore. Exactly. That's a great way to look at it. I mean, listen, you can say no whenever you feel uncomfortable. Uh, but it sounds like okay, 5210 smile says I'm not liking him, but it seems like she's the one attempting to coerce him. It sounds like they've both gone to couples therapy to work on this. And if he doesn't want to work on that, that's fine. But he can say no or file for divorce. I'd like it. You don't give her the idea that you're going to work on something and then not do it. So I think I see where you're coming from, but I think it's a wrong assessment if that's fair. All right, on to the edit. So there was no point where I was forcing him to do something he didn't want to do. We got the toys as part of a compromise for the lack of effort he puts into our sex life. For example, I have asked him to blindfold me for 5 years. He says no. He doesn't say no. He says, "Do I have to?" I've had conversations with him about how remarks like that kill the mood, and then he tells me he wants to try more kinky stuff, but when it's actually in the moment, he'll sigh and act like it's a chore. I feel like I make such a big effort, and this man has not once given me a massage without me asking. And of the 7 massages I've ever asked him for, not once has he been able to respond with anything but, "Do I have to?" So I think that shows.
Yeah, honestly, I would have respected him more if he just straight up said no. That's not my thing. Because
Yes.
then it's like, all right, well, then that's a boundary that you don't want to cross, my guy, and that's perfectly fine to say no to those type of things. But for you to like agree on it, suggesting you wanted to do more kinkier shit, and then all of a sudden when the kinky stuff does happen, you act like a little bitch about it. That's kind of on you, brother. That's
Yeah.
all I say.
Edit 2. Feels crazy to have this blow up. I cried earlier today because I heard a couple of friends of ours did a pottery class together. I literally haven't asked him to do anything like that in years because the first handful of times I asked him to do an activity like that, he also said things ranging from, "Do I have to?" or "I will never do these things with you." I know living like this is restricting my happiness. Guess it's time to take some steps to move on.
The pottery class like Ghost, like Demi Moore and was it Patrick Swayze? Like,
I see dead people.
ooh.
Is that
Hey,
one?
not Kendrick.
No. No, wait, that's an actual.
Oh wait. Yeah. I don't
It's the
remember.
kid
It's
that
Ghost,
says,
right?
"I see dead people." Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyways, I'm not good with movies. But yeah, and this guy, not like, bedroom stuff aside, he sounds like he's just a pain in the ass. Like,
Yeah.
to
This is
be
beyond the bedroom, it sounds like.
yeah, it's kind of like bleeding over like like everything else outside their personal life too. I don't know. To me, my personal opinion, activities and like life is best experience like with someone that you care about and supposedly care about. I would trade anything, any like physical possessions, material things, just to have experience with like my partner because I don't know. I kind of signed up for life together with them. I want to experience things together with them.
Yeah.
For him to like not even consider, it's like I would never do all these stuff with you. It's like, well, fuck you, dude. And why are you guys together?
And 5210 and Beth said it's a quote from the
Hold on,
Sixth
sorry.
Sense.
Abigail S at 6 cents. LOL, not the same as Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see dead people as 6 cents, not I. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
And edit 3, he went out with a friend of his and we talked when he came home. So my husband is a struggling artist and works part-time at a regular job. His friend is also an artist and told him that his wife pays a larger portion of their lifestyle, bills, etc. But she doesn't mind it because she wants the father of their children to have integrity and be the guy that does the things he sought out to do, regardless of whether or not he makes a lot of money. My husband insinuated that she's a supportive wife and I'm not. I'm so exhausted. I'm also an artist with a corporate job and an evening corporate job and a freelance artist on the side. I make about 15K a year on my art. My husband loses anywhere from 2 to 10K on his art. We have a 2-bedroom and 1 room in his dedicated studio. I do not have a home studio. I make do with our living space. I have put thousands of dollars, not to mention mental and emotional energy, into helping his art career. He has left me to go to social events, trips, family gatherings alone because he needs the time to do his art. And I have deluded myself into being proud of being such a chill wife, giving him the freedom to do whatever he wants. Everyone we know gives me props for being such a supportive wife. I can't believe he's comparing me to someone else's wife and saying I'm not supportive. Truly, what the fuck? Hoping for an amicable divorce, but my gut tells me it's going to be nasty. I just wanted a simple life with someone I love. What a bummer.
You're being an asshole to yourself if you don't leave this fucking dude.
Oh, it sounds like they are. Yeah.
Good. I'm just saying, if you continually choose to stay with this person, he's bum ass of a fucking guy, like just leave him. He sounds like he doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I hope it is an amicable divorce as well. Amicable divorce. And yeah, you deserve someone that is going to give you the energy that you're giving into this relationship as well.
Yeah, fuck up all his art. Shit on all of it.
Well, not. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, smear campaign, but with poop.
But yeah, that's the end of that story. Wishing OP the best. And yeah, hopefully the husband can figure out what the fuck he wants in a relationship.
He doesn't want to, Josh.
Do I have to?
Do I have to figure out my life? Do I have to be a fucking step up of being a human being? I hate this bastard.
Were people making fun of my voice?
I don't know. I didn't see it. If I start reading the chat continuously, I will not listen to a single word that you just said.
Oh yeah, people saying I sound like Urkel. I was just trying to make him sound like a loser. I didn't go for an Urkel.
I guess people loved it.
Okay, well, it's not as good as Sean's. What's it?
Nice guy.
Nice guy voice. He hasn't done that in a time, but
he said it hurts him doing that.
Yeah, well, I bet it hurts his throat probably.
I bet. I mean, but Sean's a throat goat though, so I don't know.
He's the throat goat. You're right.
All right. I guess moving on to my next story. Again, this one is a listener sent story by Soggy Midscore Inspection, Midscore 115. The title is My Mom Made Our Family a Stereotype.
Okay. I'm curious how. Yeah, because it's like, what stereotype are we talking about? Is it a racial stereotype?
Josh's wedding on a dance floor, baby.
I don't know. These titles are too open-ended. I don't know where to go with them.
All right, story goes as this. Hello, Reddit on Wiki community. I am not great with titles, but hopefully you get my thought process. I have debated on sharing the story, but I think venting this out to strangers on the internet is the healthiest way to cope.
We
I agree,
appreciate it.
and it's also give us content. So
Yeah.
thank you, Soggy Inspection. A little backstory. I have never been close to my mom, even when I was a kid. She was verbally abusive towards me, my dad, and some of my siblings. She struggled with alcohol and has a serious control issues. Not to mention, she's racist and homophobic.
Oh,
As judge,
ain't
no love like Christian. Hey, is that
is she Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna say this right now.
Okay,
As judgmental as she is,
anything about Christianity
she
yet.
prides herself on being a loving Christian. Ooh, I buried the lead there.
There we go.
My parents fought a lot growing up, and my mom would often accuse my dad of cheating on her. There were ridiculous accusations too. The accusations got worse around my sister's wedding, and she even accused him of sleeping with the wedding planner we have all just met on my sister's wedding day.
Wait, accusing the dad of
cheating and sleeping with the wedding planner that they just met that day.
What the fuck kind of insecurity is that?
Man.
That's insane.
I'd like to mention that my dad has never cheated on my mom. A few months after the wedding, my sibling found out from some Facebook messages that my mom was cheating on my dad. The
What's that called?
projection is
Projection?
crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was in another state at the time and I called my dad to tell him. He filed for divorce and she went to live with her parents. She told everyone that my dad was physically abusive. He wasn't, and that he cheated on her, so she left. That didn't work in her favor when her kids were no longer in contact with her. I also told her side of the family what she did. Anyways, we completely cut her out of our lives when she continued to force the other guy into our lives. She is now married to that guy. But there's more. We found out that the man my mother cheated on my dad with, the man that she married, guess what it is?
Oh, is he a wedding planner?
Is her cousin.
Oh shit.
Sweet home Alabama.
I was like, fuck, I have no idea where this is going.
I don't know where he's at or how close he is related to her, but he doesn't make it any less embarrassing or gross. And we're
Ugh.
from the South. Eh?
I'm not saying
Right there.
anything. I'm not saying.
I am. Roll Tide. So thanks, Mom, for being an incestuous asshole. To the boys, thanks for being awesome.
Holy shit. What does that make him to you? Your stepfather, uncle?
Oh my
Stepfunkle.
God.
There we go.
That's a new word, Josh. A funkle. Not a fun uncle. A father uncle.
Or a fuzzin? Fuzzin. Because it's cousin, right?
Yes.
So it'd be like their second or first cousin removed or something like that. So yeah, it'd
Bro,
fuzzin'.
Funkle's about to be a merch.
Holy shit.
Funkle, not the fun uncle though.
Yeah, I mean, what crazy projection to like demean your dad like that and lie about the divorce that he cheated and was abusive. What insane bullshit. And then to marry your cousin. Like
Oh.
yeah, you really think you've got the higher ground here? Oh my God. That's insane. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just
stories, bro.
that is unhinged. Damn.
Is that
Well,
legal? I don't think so.
I don't know. Look up the state laws.
Oh man, there's so much like different variations now. Okay, so Maddie put housin, like husband cousin.
Oh, husband cousin. Okay, that's a good one. Husband.
Fousin, first person on energy. What's fousin? Like, I don't know.
Step fussin.
Step fussin.
That's good.
Fuzzin' cussin.
Fun cousin.
Well, they had fun apparently. Holy
Husband
shit.
is crazy.
Oh my God. I think I like
Holy
Funkle.
shit.
Funkle's the best one.
Well, that would be if it was also your uncle. That's why I retracted and said fuzzin'.
Do you know what's sad, guys? Every time we make like these little inside jokes and little sayings and we say it in an episode, Sean just looks completely lost and confused.
Yeah.
And then during like when we have to do cameos and we say stuff like that, one of the bits is just like, we just talk about Tuesdays all the time. And Sean physically almost cries every single time he hears that, and it's the best thing ever.
John is mean to Sean sometimes.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. But he's a favorite, so we love him. And yes, free Sean. If Sean is here, I think we'd peak at like 600 people at all
easily.
times.
Yeah.
Sean will never watch any of this ever.
No, he'd have no idea.
Nah, he don't give a fuck about it.
You can clip it and send to him.
Yeah, he don't care.
All right, moving on to my next story. This will be one that you will love, John. Posted on r/petty revenge.
I love it already.
By AITAH. And the title is "My Coworker Loves Taking Credit for Other People's Work. Then he got exposed."
Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Best sends $5 and said, "Oh, poor Sean. My donation is to freeing Sean from corporate."
Gonna need a lot more than that.
I
Sean is
know.
expensive.
$5 will do.
Yeah, we'll keep it. I'm not telling him. Just kidding.
It's crazy because I like going at the beginning. I was like, John's gonna be the most expensive one to free from corporate,
Nope. Got a
and
rich
it was
wife,
the other way
baby. Let's
around.
go. Hey, when she said that, go ahead. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm quitting today.
Putting in my 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
All right. So I work as a software engineer, and in my team, we follow the usual process of writing code, rewriting it, testing it, and deploying it. One of my coworkers, Steve, had a bad habit of taking credit for other people's work in front of management. He isn't a bad developer, but he loves making it seem like he was doing more than he actually was. I'm quite introverted, so I don't usually speak up in meetings unless I have to. Calling someone out directly doesn't come naturally to me, so I usually just let things slide. During a big project, I spent days fixing a complicated bug. The problem ran deep, and the fix had to work across different parts of the code. If you hadn't actually worked on it, it was pretty hard to follow. A lot of testing, and I finally got it done. At the next team meeting, before I could even say a word, Steve jumped in and started explaining my fix as if it was his. He kept saying things like, we decided to, and our approach was to, making it sound like he was the person behind it. Crazy. I was annoyed, but I kept quiet. The next day, another bug popped up in the same area of the code. Our manager turned to Steve and said, since you worked on this before, can you patch it?
Ooh.
And that's where the fun started.
Ooh, armpit sweaty as a motherfucker right
He's
now.
weak. Steve froze. The thing is, if you didn't actually write the fix, it wasn't easy to understand how it all fits together. He had no idea where to even begin. He tried stalling and even sent a message to me asking if I could explain the logic of the code real quick. I told him that I was busy at the moment and I will catch with him later. I didn't. After 5 hours of struggling, he finally admitted to the team chat and wrote something like, actually, I didn't write this part. Maybe OP can take a look. I replied, of course, I'll check it. 10 minutes later, I had a fix. Our manager came over and congratulated me. We were chatting for a bit, and before heading off, he made a deliberate comment about how great it was to having someone who actually understood what we were working on.
Ooh,
Steve didn't say a word. Fuck you, Steve.
yeah, fuck you, Steve.
Fuck you, Steve.
Nah, you know what? This Steve person has the making of being a project manager. I can see it.
Oh yeah.
I can see it. And also, like, I've experienced this kind of like in the corporate world too. However, they got rewarded for it. And that's the one side that a lot of people probably like see. And I think it's the biggest aspect of like working in like I think in any jobs in particular.
Yeah.
Some people who are very skilled, sometimes they're so dedicated to their craft that they're just eh, eh, some people are just like good at doing, while some people are just good at talking out of their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I was a little bit of both. Um, but I've seen like promotions where people were just so good at like not just taking other people's credit, but they're so good at making it spin like they were contributing or as equally, as skilled as another person. And I always see them get promoted faster than those who are actually damn good at their jobs because they're not as extroverted. That's the political game that like a lot of people struggle with in like a corporate aspect or like job wise, and it
Yep.
sucks because some people are so damn good at their jobs, but like the front facing people and the ones that can actually articulate stuff might not be the best in like the actual process of it, but they just know how to talk. And that's the shit that made me tired in like every jobs that I've ever been in.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen the exact same thing in my, few years that I actually worked in corporate. It's who speaks up the quickest
Yeah.
and takes credit the fastest. That seems to be the people that get ahead the quickest, which is shitty because that's not how. Then you have people at the top who have no idea what they're doing, leading the people that do the actual work.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I played both fields. Like, when I was in the Air Force, I was a mix of both corporate, I was both the subject matter expert and the personality hire at the same time. So finding the balance is hard, but I've seen it firsthand, like kind of what you said, Josh. Like some people are just good at like weaseling their way through to get those promotions.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you are our personality hire, John,
Oh,
for the
yes,
podcast.
absolutely. I contribute nothing but the personality.
That's not true. But yeah, I hope Steve has a bad career.
Fuck you, Steve.
I wish Steve the worst. Not Stevie in chat.
Stevie's the GOAT. Shout out Stevie. Hi, Stevie. I know she's here somewhere.
Yeah. I think earlier she said he has to change his name.
All right. Moving on to my next story. Let's see. The next, I have three more. Three of them are kind of short, one semi-long one. And half of them is going to be kind of they're good. They're not sad stories.
Okay.
Because the last few lives I've been just sending nothing but just shit.
Yeah. Well, not last week, I don't think. Maybe I brought a bunch of shit ones.
Oh, maybe. But anyways, let's be happy. You know, March is halfway there, Wikimaniac. So let's liven it up a little bit.
That sounds good. Quick shout out to Belle, who gifted one Reddit on Wiki membership in the chat. We appreciate you.
Belle? Is that Sean's goat, Belle?
It is, yes.
Hello, Belle. How are you? All right. My next story. This one is from Said So 1991. The title is Honka Honka, oh baby. And this is why I'm single. A bad date story.
Holy shit, that's quite a title. Honka Honka. Oh god.
Honka Honka. All right, let's get to it. I, 38 female, recently decided to start dating again and join online dating apps. I've chatted and met a few guys so far and no real connections, but no bad dates. This one guy I met with, we will call him Joe, 36 male. Seemed nice, and we went on several dates. The fourth date seemed like the one we might be intimate. Preemptive?
Okay, unless it's isn't the guy from You, Joe?
Joe Goldberg?
Yeah.
We went to his house and were kissing when he honka'd me. They put thank God for padded bras, LMAO, and said, "Oh, baby."
No fucking way.
And then my man went honka. Oh, baby.
Holy shit.
Joe, what are you doing, buddy? Oh my God. Hold on. This is way too funny. Oh, that's a merch.
Holy
God.
shit.
This man is in his mid-30s and they put he does not fuck. I held in my laughter and sat up. I checked on my phone to check on my kids. I look over and he's taking selfies, kissy face selfies. And I ask, "Are you sending selfies?" And he replies, "Gotta do what you gotta do."
What?
He literally
This guy is a cartoon character. Yabba dabba doo.
Suffering succotash. You gotta do what you gotta do. And he literally honka'd me. Then hear this out. He did it again. And then he started texting other girls.
What the fuck?
Raggy.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I know it's been a while since I've been with this new partner, but honka, oh baby. I did not sleep with him. I went home with my boobs intact, barely. I had a good laugh, and I hope you did too, fellas. Don't honka, oh baby.
No, this is a call to action. Everyone honka their partner tonight, male or female, or anything in between. See what the reaction is. Holy shit. Oh, baby.
Oh, ain't gonna lie, I laughing so hard. I had to like clench my butt because I thought I was gonna fart like midstream, bro.
Oh, man. That would give me the ick
Oh,
so quick.
oh. I know it's not ass, but does this guy fart?
I mean, no.
Bro, the second honka honka and then proceeds to text other girls
Honka
afterwards.
honka.
That's
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
wild, dude. Oh my god.
That was a
Oh,
great. That was
his
a
eyes
great story.
probably Maddie put his eyes probably did the ooga.
Ooga. Just like pop out.
Oh my god. That's the
Oh,
funniest shit I've ever
that's
heard.
crazy.
Oh man, that's a bad date, bro. Holy shit.
Ooga.
Oh,
I can't wait for those shirts to come out. That's gonna
honka
be
honka
great.
merch.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Honka honka.
Oh fuck. All
All
right.
right. Jesus Christ. Time to really quickly correct where we're feeling here. This one is from Best of Redditor Updates, originally posted by Aggressive Midscore Cost 2007, sorry. And this one is titled, Am I Overreacting? My boyfriend said, I'm the prettiest when I shut up in front of his friends.
Privately, that's bad already. But in front of people?
Yeah.
I think
And
I'll honka him with a mallet. That's what I'll
shit. And then there's trigger warning for verbal abuse in this one.
nah.
Which I feel happens in many of the stories, but just given that that heads up anyway. So, the original post on March 9th goes like this. My boyfriend, 25 male, and I, 22 female, were invited to a birthday party of his friends.
Illegal.
Illegal. Come on,
Shout out to our
guys.
boy.
Yeah. One to Sean. The people at this event were all close friends of his from his contract job, and I barely know any of these people. Everything was going fine, and my boyfriend was clearly having a great time, but at some point, I was telling a story from my school days when my boyfriend interrupted and said, You know OP is prettiest when she shuts up. Everyone laughed, and my boyfriend just kept going, saying, You guys don't know what I go through. She never stops talking.
And why are you with her, jabroni?
Sometimes I tune her out for my own sanity or something along those lines. That's insane. I'm usually really introverted, but when I warm up to someone, I'm the type to talk a lot. So when he said these words, I felt so embarrassed and humiliated, especially since he said it so casually in front of people I don't even know. I tried to brush it off, but I got quiet after that. Later, after the party was over, I told him how hurtful his comments were, and he rolled his eyes and said I was being too sensitive and that it was just a joke and I was making a big deal out of nothing. He said I embarrassed him by acting cold for the rest of the night and that I should learn to take a joke. He also told me if I couldn't learn to lighten up, maybe I shouldn't come to events with his friends anymore, even though he's the one who asked me to come in the first place. I feel so awful and confused. Am I in the wrong for getting upset and killing the vibe?
You should have killed someone else. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I get it. I'm the talkative one. I don't know when to shut the fuck up sometimes, and sometimes I do be interrupting. Like when Juliet's on his own, and I end up talking to her, and then sometimes she just gives me a look like, "Hey, I'm busy." I'm like, "Oh fuck." I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Like those little hints. But I know for a damn fact she would not do that shit to me in public. She'd
No.
like probably like squeeze my hand and I'd be like, okay, that's the fucking I need to shut the fuck up now.
I'm
But in
talking
these
too much. But
but in these situations where it's like she knows like she probably would have been better off like staying at home. She said she was an introvert. Chances are, I think he ended up coercing her to go say, like, oh, you need to go because or else you're gonna be a KJ type of shit. She
yeah.
probably would have been better at home chilling, and she probably would have been happier doing that. And to tell your friends, you don't know what I go through, like she talk too damn much, bro. Like that's your partner. They of course they want to talk to you. If they don't want to say anything to you, then they wouldn't be with your bitch ass.
Yeah. I don't like.
Ah,
I truly don't understand. Like, if you truly think that, why are you with that person?
exactly.
Because, like, yeah, Sienna is the chatty one in our relationship. I'm the more socially reserved one, but that's perfect for me because it's like she can carry a social interaction with like us and some other people, like which relieves me of trying to hold a conversation. So I love that about her. It's not something that I would ever say negatively about her, and I can't imagine being in a relationship where you truly think that. So I don't know. Like, it's so awful, and I think OP deserves so much better.
And
Uh,
another thing that makes me mad about this shit too, the fact that OP said like, hey, she's naturally introvert, and it takes kind of a lot for her to like open up if it's like the right people. If I see like my partner, like let's say they're an introverted, and it's really like socially difficult for them to like have those conversations. It takes a lot of energy to be that upbeat and that social, right? And if I see
yeah,
them, oh, happy telling a story, I'd shut the fuck up and listen and be like, all right, well, this is kind of a nice different site that I normally don't see from you. And it's kind of refreshing and new. So
yeah,
boy, I would mm.
yeah.
She said she can't take a joke. Can you take a knife? Like,
Well,
buddy.
Emily in chat said the joke is this relationship, and I think that's true. I think it's over. Like, that's not something you bounce back from, especially the
Mm.
gaslighting and non apology afterwards.
Yes.
It's like, okay, so you're doubling down on your shitty
Saying it's her
behavior.
fault,
Yeah,
right? It's so stupid,
fuck
bro.
you. So there is an update 2 days later. OP says, I broke up with him. We had been
Good.
dating for 2 years, and it was the first time he acted that way. So I was genuinely conflicted and wasn't sure if the joke really flew over my head, but I decided to leave. It takes me a lot of effort to come out of my shell, and I feel uncomfortable to stay with someone who doesn't like that. My self-esteem is usually really low, but this time I spoke up for myself once in a long time. We broke up over text. It
Good.
sucks since he kept bringing up all his contract friend. It sucks since he kept bringing up all his job friends over me again and again. These people he's acquainted with less than 7 months, so that alone told me something. I won't be missing anything since he ended our text with saying, "Bye, I don't give a fuck." Thanks for all the sweet comments. At the time I wrote the post, I was feeling a lot down and cried a lot. I'm a bit sensitive, so I teared up reading these comments. Thanks again, and I hope everyone has a nice day. Heart emoji.
Our text breakup was too damn. Usually, I don't like text breakups because I like the finality of it. But this
But
guy doesn't deserve a damn thing.
he doesn't give a fuck, so who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should have ghosted his ass, left his ass, have him hang out with his little contract buddies.
Yeah, just move.
Oh my god. Yeah. Dude never liked her,
Yeah.
which is
No,
unfair.
not at all. It seems like he cares more about impressing his friends than he does about his relationship. And if that's who you are, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. Your partner should come first. In most situations, anyway. Provide like friend having a medical emergency or something
Yeah.
that would take precedent, obviously. But in most circumstances, they should take precedence, and you should care more about what they think rather than your shitty
What other
friends.
people think? Yeah. And I know OP said like they had a little like lower self-esteem. I know it sucks that you had to go through this situation to find out like you're stronger than you think you are. The fact that
Mhm.
you're able to pull this off, recognize quickly like, hey, this guy ain't shit, and leave him in the dust. Good on you. Hope you have a better future, and hopefully moving forward, like you can see the red flags immediately in these motherfuckers because they don't deserve you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, that pissed me off, man. How do we go from honka honka to someone I want to punch in the face?
That's our specialty, John.
That
It's the
is.
quick
We are
U-turn to
yeah,
anger.
roller coaster of emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the up
So
and down.
yeah, speaking of up and down, if you like, if you like a design, like that's nice and so sick,
Oh,
Reddit on wikishop.com. You better buy it, or Sean's emotions will go up and down because he designed it. He's sad that no one's buying it.
you want me to share that screen? Show you?
Yeah, please. And also, just to mention that half of those proceeds is going to go to Planned Parenthood because it's International Women's Month. And your boys like to support causes, people. So you know what we're all about.
There's even mugs.
There's mugs. Look
So,
at that.
so then you could like clink your mug with your partner and fist bump.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Backshot's about to go crazy, bro. Just saying. All right. Should we move on to the next story? This one is also kind of happy. My next story is going to be kind of and then we'll end it off with a very short happy one. How about that, Josh?
Okay. I've got nothing but anger going forward.
Let's go. Let's do this, brother. All right. So this one is actually submitted originally on Discord, but ended up finding it again on our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki. Also, that's a shout out. If you guys want to join an amazing community, please join our Discord channel.
Hell
We
yeah.
have a lot of Discord goats here. First Person Energy is always active there. We got Stevie in the house as well. Like if you want to talk to some awesome people, build an awesome community, shout out your accomplishments, all of that stuff. I'm also on like if you like fitness and all that stuff, like we're always gassing each other up instead of gaslighting each other up, you know. Yeah, it's an awesome community. Join our Discord channel, people.
I will share the link in just 1 second here.
Yeah. Got a bunch of goats in there. Like I'm beefing with people on Discord. Shout out Barefoot Conrosa, right?
There you go. The Restream bot just posted the Discord there. So
there you go. And Stevie's like a constant there. If you want like happiness all the time, Stevie's like the most amazing person. So shout out to all of y'all.
absolutely.
All right. So let's get to this one. This one is from I Stubbed My Dough. And I really wish Sean was here for the story because I would have loved to hear him say it. But the title is The Last Cookie.
Oh. Yeah. For anyone confused, he's referencing my wedding when Sean couldn't wait to try the cookies
Sienna's mom's cookie.
that my mother-in-law made.
And he was licking his lips like, damn, Sienna's mom's cookies. Delicious. He was like rubbing his hands, Birdman style and everything.
Yeah. They are good cookies, I will say that.
Those were great cookies, brother.
They do chocolate chip is their classic, but they can do anything, like everything but the kitchen sink ones. Those are my favorite personally.
Shout out Sienna's mom.
I mean, for the cookies, yeah.
That too. All right. The title for this one again is The Last Cookie. Goes as this. Hey, so I posted a story on the Discord, but I thought to share it on here as well. It is my own story and it's pretty wholesome, I think. So I thought it might be a good refresher to give some of the stories here. So it goes as this. A couple of days ago, I made some chocolate chip cookies. They're nothing special, and my partner was having a bad day and had gotten caught up doom scrolling about current US politics and how it feels like the world is ending.
That's me every day.
Ooh, I try to avoid it. Plus, we live in LA, so the world has kind of felt apocalyptic since the fire started, even though we're thankfully been safe. Glad to hear.
Yeah,
I
I'm
stubbed
glad
my
you're
dough.
safe.
And also, I stubbed my dough. Also, like a cookie story.
Great.
Beautiful.
Great
Love it.
name.
My partner requested some cookies. And while he's an excellent cook, he has whatever the opposite of a green thumb is for baked goods. He has somehow burnt every batch of cookies he has ever made in his life. Thus, the cookie responsibilities fall to me. Now, I'm a full-time high school math teacher, so I didn't have the energy to bake from scratch. So I got some store-bought cookie dough and just threw in the oven. They're not the best ever, but a chocolate chip cookie is a chocolate chip cookie. I got no complaints. Damn, I want some cookies.
Same.
The both of us overindulged the first night before storing our leftovers in a Ziploc bag. Since then, I've been going to work every day and usually nabbing a cookie before I go for my lunch and one or two when I get back after my long days of teaching. The past 2 days, however, that's changed. You see, there have only been a couple cookies left, so I started to eat the broken bits instead of the whole cookies, hoping that I could save the best remaining cookies for my partner. I baked the cookies for him after all, and I really want him to have the best of the batch. The only problem, he started to do the same. Today, I ate what I thought were the last possible crumbs of cookie leftover, leaving just one cookie alone in Ziploc bag on our kitchen counter. I left the last cookie for him. I knew he'd get the message and assumed he'd finally killed the last of the batch. When I got home, half a cookie remained. So I guess this is our new game. Successfully breaking a cookie into smaller and smaller bits until one of us finally breaks and eats the last bite of the cookie. I am determined I will not lose.
Y'all better than me. Cookie be
I'm
gone.
biting the shit out of the cookie, bro. Cookie gone. Oh shit.
Hell yeah, that's a lovely story.
It is.
And yeah, I mean I hope OP wins the cookie battle.
I know. It's
I
the
think-
great cookie war of 2025, right? That's funny because like we kind of have an unspoken rule in the house. Like I think I've told this story a few times too. Juliet, the rule is she always gets the first bite on everything.
Hmm.
Everything. So every time like we go to like a restaurant, she has a problem of over ordering. So because she likes trying new things, and my job is to be the garbage disposal, and
cleanup.
I eat everything. I'm the cleanup crew, right? So the rule is first bite always her. I always get the last bite. So it's always fair because she likes to like, try a bunch of new things. And I don't like wasting food. And she just loves like getting everything. So I'm like, well, this can't go to waste. This is why I got fat. Because I'd be finishing everything she orders. But it's worked so far and no complaints.
Hell yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, I mean, luckily Sienna and I have very different like sweet tooths. Mine's more candy based or like chips or something like that.
She loves chocolate. Huh?
Her, chocolate, baked goods. That's her go to. So, luckily enough, we're on opposite enough sides that the rare occasion we cross over.
Yeah,
it works. It's a good whatever split.
yeah. Nah, like same thing for us. Like soggy fries. She loves soggy fries. I love crunchy fries.
Hell
I
yeah.
love wings. She likes flat. So I'm like, all right, perfect. This is just perfect. We can hella share.
Oh, T-Mang, I will say ice cream is our one where we are both very indulgent on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
we
our
don't
favorite thing to do in the summer. Which actually, gotta say today, nicest day we've had all year so far. It's like 17 degrees, which I don't know in conversion rate.
let me guess. 49 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, 63.
God damn, I'm bad at math. Also, like another funny ice cream thing. Like I remember last year, we went to Colorado Springs, and my favorite ice cream place there is called Josh and John's. And then I sent the picture to the guys on our group chat. Dude, Sean was pressed. He was like, "What the fuck?" So he grabbed that picture and like he edited it to add Sean. He was like, "I'm fucking sick of this shit."
And if we ever create an ice cream shop, that's what we'll name it.
We'll name it Josh and John's.
Oh, I meant and Sean.
And Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So we can
Yeah,
get
all three of
copyright.
us. All three of us.
Shout out to our boy, man. We miss you, man. It's never the same when you're not here, buddy.
Also, shout out to the Canadians and Northern Americans that are also enjoying the nice weather today.
Yeah.
It's finally a break from the cold.
Oh, what's the oh my god, I'm not wearing my watch. What the fuck?
Those
I'm not
steps
wearing my
don't
watch
count
today.
now, John.
Oh, today's my rest day, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Because my dumbass be working like 4 times a day.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go for a run today outside.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shirt off, Sean. Or Sean. Shirt off, Josh.
It's not that warm yet.
Just record it.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. This one, I also wish Sean was here. The title for this one is "My New Team is Taunting Me Because I Have a Nut Allergy."
I'm gonna channel my inner Sean here.
So this was posted off of Reddit originally.
Rachel said, "You got another co-host." Don't tell him that. He's gonna cry.
He'll be upset.
He'll be so mad.
So this is a trigger warning for attempted poisoning, I guess. Although, as Sean would call it, survival of the fittest.
Darwinism.
All right. So this originally posted 2020, actually, peak pandemic. So I have a nut allergy and carry an EpiPen. It's never been an issue in the 20 years I've worked for my company. I have recently been promoted to a new department. As usual, I explained to the manager I have a nut allergy, but it doesn't affect anything, like it's not airborne or anything like that. First aiders are aware and always available, and my EpiPen is located in my drawer if needed. I said I was only letting him know as sometimes I don't join in team buffets, bake-offs, and I don't want to appear as rude. The manager sent out an email to the entire department banning nuts of any kind in the office because my full name is allergic. I was mortified and hastily explained there's no need for that and it's not that kind of allergy. I'm only ill if I eat them, not if other people do. The manager refused to withdraw or clarify the email and declared the whole office is now nut-free. When I asked why, he said it's company policy that if anyone has an allergy, the allergen is banned from the department and he can't change it.
Yeah, but not blasting up someone's personal information, right? Because that's
Yeah.
technically not HIP. It's technically HIPAA, is it? Because that's a condition that.
I don't know. We don't have HIPAA here, or it's
I
probably
need to
called
brush
something
up on
else.
my laws. Anyways,
Well,
go
but
ahead.
it is also outing someone to
Yeah,
harassment.
because then now that's a retaliation waiting to happen over there.
Yeah.
Some people are not happy about that shit.
Exactly. I explained that in the 12 years, this has never been the case. I asked him to withdraw the email and explain again the reason it was not necessary. He refused, saying his decision was final and it will not be changed. He's not getting sued for something like this and literally walked away from his desk.
He will get sued.
Yeah. Since his email went out, there have been a lot of snide comments like, ooh, I would love a peanut buttered sandwich, but thanks to you know who, I can't.
There it is. That's retaliation already.
Yeah. All these people with made up allergies looking for attention. And here comes the fun police when I walk past. They sound these comments sound similar to someone else I know, John. You know,
Right.
I forget his name, but
Maybe if you say his name, he'll appear.
he's on that one Reddit podcast. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, I don't know. Sean Erasure, that will drive him nuts. Drive him nuts.
Damn it.
I just realized that halfway through saying, I'm like, oh my God, I'm onto something.
I got a punt. It's been a month and it's escalating. Every day this week, I've came into mini Snicker bars lined up across my keyboard.
Oh no.
Everyone denies responsibility. I've tried to just laugh it off, but it's really starting to affect me. The change of department is a promotion, and I was excited to learn and develop new skills, but I want nothing more than to go slinking back to my old position where the staff were lovely. I'm worried if I do ask to transfer back to my original department and pay grade, I will be passed over for future promotions for being flaky and unreliable. Is it even possible to apply for a demotion? What can I do?
No, what you can do is go straight up to your HR office. And if their HR office doesn't do that, go over their fucking heads. Go to some sort of local office where they do like labor relations and all that. Shit, I'm drawing a blank. What's the fucking thing for that? But anyways, like maybe a Department of Labor can help you out with that. That is one, a violation of like your health condition. If they wanted to disclose that in public or saying like, hey, there's someone with this condition, they have to do it anonymously because two, what happening to you right now, my friend, is a classic case of retaliation. Now that everyone knows that you're the condition, they're singling you out, they're treating you differently. And on top of that, that's fucking harassment on top of that. And on top of that, too, is number four, another layer of that cake, is that you can't progress to your fucking office because now people are going to look at you different. If there's your coworkers who are probably your managers, who's probably going to give you a rating and all that and promotion opportunities, or most likely, they're higher ups and all that. And if they're treating you like that, you're not going to be able to move up in a company. And that is just a lose-lose situation for you. So you go to your HR, and if they're not complying, go to your local office, file a fucking complaint, EEOC, and say like, hey, I'm being verbally harassed and actually harassed in every way possible. Go get your fucking bag, sue the fuck out of them. If anything, actually leave this job too. Because if they're not gonna fucking do anything right now, they're gonna make your life a miserable hell for the foreseeable future. So save yourself, get your money, and get the fuck out of there, girl.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane to me that people think this is okay and like to
It's
harass
not.
you in the office.
It's abusive.
Yeah, and your boss had to have seen this coming. Like
Yes.
you're literally singling out someone to start like, and then this is just starting a harassment campaign towards them. It's fucking bullshit. And yeah, I fucking hate people like this. They're yeah. Anyway, you said all the good things. I had nothing else to say
Oh, thank you.
after that,
I get
but
really passionate about this shit.
no, and I appreciate it.
I'm like, oh man, I didn't get in trouble a lot, but they're just like, I always sided with like the employees if it's like fucking logical, because I'm like, all right, well, I've always hated the notion that like HR is like the boogeyman of the company. Is like anytime you go there, it's just like trouble for you as an employee. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, it shouldn't be that case. That's not how you promote culture in the workplace.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Unfortunately, in many places it
And
is.
that's why I'm not there anymore, because corporate America could suck my ass.
Yeah, yeah. There is an update 2 months later. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you for your advice. I genuinely was going to quit that job that I've been in for years and that I love. Your advice and comments from readers gave me the confidence to tackle it. I did approach HR, who advised me to speak to my boss if I felt like I was being bullied.
No, no, the boss is what caused this. HR, what are you doing? If anything, there needs to
Holy.
be a third party representing you, maybe like an employment lawyer or something. What kind of fucking stupid advice? You're gonna send them to the person that's giving them shit?
Yep.
Oh, this company's going under fast. Idiot.
Obviously, that wasn't feasible as the boss was fully aware of what was going on.
Thank you.
I scheduled a meeting with the head of site, who is second in command to the CEO, and laid out everything that has been happening, the bullying, but also the toxic environment. I was promoted to implement training and coaching because the department wasn't performing, and it was having a knock on effect on other departments and ultimately customers. He wasn't aware of any of the issues within the department. It's a small department which has flown under the radar for years. I wonder why this department's causing issues for other departments and customers. He promised me that the situation would be investigated and to log every single incident in an email to him personally. I felt incredibly stupid having to send an email after email listing the many incidents that occurred, but I logged everything. He came in personally one morning to catch the person putting the nuts on my desk, and she was fired instantly. It was the boss's right-hand woman who believed she should have gotten a promotion, not me. And this was her attempt to make me leave. Literally threatening this person's life to get a fucking promotion is insane. The boss was suspended pending investigations. It turns out that for the last 4 years, he has not been doing any paperwork in regards to return to work, one-on-ones, PPD, or PDP, CPDs, nothing. I don't know what any of those acronyms
Personal
mean.
development plan and career development plans.
There you go. That's why we got John on staff,
You're
not just a
welcome.
personality hire.
I know someone commented, is like, how the hell did John ever work? I'm actually professional at work, guys. I don't say dick jokes or nothing. I swear, I
Yeah,
promise.
he's not allowed.
I'm not.
He's been talked to.
Yeah, a lot.
During the investigation, they also looked into staff turnover, and there has been numerous accusations of bullying, which has been ignored, and a high number of staff have quit. He resigned last week before they could fire him, and I know it's unkind, but I'm absolutely thrilled in regards to the boss. It's been hard work making changes within the department. There's been some pushback, and major changes have needed to be made. 2 staff have quit because they now actually need to perform, but we have 2 staff from different departments and a new manager who are all incredible. The head of the site has been incredibly humbled about it, which I did not expect. He apologized and acknowledged that this should have been picked up years ago, and assured me that going forward, the business will be putting more measures in place to ensure it can't happen again. And that is the update.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay, people, this is me putting my like HR cap on again. In a perfect world, right? The reason why a big reason why I wanted to get into HR is that said reason, like changing the company culture. Because if you like retention is very expensive. Hiring people is time consuming, lots of resources.
Yeah.
If you just focused on the retention aspect of it, making people happy, giving them a purpose at work, let's say like this fucking shitty of a boss doesn't even have any like or not performance improvement, like plans to, like a career development or like any improvement plans for this. A lot of people quit not because a lot of times money is part of a big equation. I understand that financially, that's a big important thing. But a lot of times people leave work is because the lack of support and the lack of transparency from their managers. Managers' responsibility is not just to fucking, do what's like best for the company. You got to do right by your people. That means you got to lead by example. You got to teach them ways of like, you can't be selfish as a manager either. You have to be ready to train your colleagues and the people below you to sometimes be better than you because you want them to do bigger and better things. All right. And I just hate this like statement where it's like people use HR like as a place to scare employees. Like, hey, you can't ever go here because when you go here, I'm just here to fucking fire you or like reprimand you in some way.
Hmm.
No, HR is such a big umbrella where like you're supposed to go there and think that they're an ally for you. And that's what it is supposed to be about. It's about developing people. It's about making sure that they're what their workplace, they're accommodated, they feel secure, they feel like they have everything they need so they can do their jobs properly. People are so fucking selfish nowadays and they just want to do things for themselves. That's why there's corporate greed. It's all very individualistic. If we shift the fucking mind to make it like a community and to make it where like people can grow and develop not only as individual contributors but potential leaders down the line, that's how you make companies grow and that's how you have a sustainable workforce. People are happy where they are.
Damn.
Sorry, there's my rant.
That won't fit into a TikTok, John. Can you
It won't.
condense that down into?
I can't.
Oh no, that's why you're the GOAT, John. In regards to career or job related stories, you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I got paid a lot to bullshit my way, right? So like, I might
Well, it's not bullshit. What you're saying is true. Like
personality higher, but I can get away with it.
if corporate mindset shifts to more of a community mindset, then like the world would like be a lot better of a place.
It's not gonna happen, unfortunately.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make money for the shareholders. But yeah, co-ops. Yeah, exactly, Emily. I truly believe in co-ops. I think they are great, great alternatives to the corporate structure.
Oh, it's me. Oh shit, I
It
totally
is.
blanked out there. I went on a rant, so like my
Uh-oh.
energy is shifted elsewhere. So this is kind of my last sad-ish, not sad, but you'll get you kind of thinking. And then the last story I have is very short, and it's funny. I like it.
Okay.
All right. So this story I have is cross posted or posted by Family Lower Score Drama. Again, this is a personal story. The title is I, 28 female, think my brother, 34 male, is becoming a red pillar, aka misogynist. Help?
Oh. I wish I knew how to help. I just yeah, because I mean, not red pillar, but I have some people that I strongly disagree with politically in my family, and I have a hard time just talking to them because they are gone in their own world. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you connect with them. It truly is in some of these cases like cult mentality, and it brings me back to my old podcast. And it's just like,
What's that podcast called again, Josh?
well,
Shout out
let's
to the
start a
people.
cult.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get our boys some residual cha-ching,
Good luck finding it because all when search let's start a cult, all that pops up is Stavros's show or whatever.
Let's sue them.
But anyway, so it just reminds me of that when people get so indoctrinated into a belief system that they're like, you just can't have a normal conversation with them.
Yeah.
Be like, no, like this is what's happening in the real world, and they're like, not in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, it's sad, but let's hear this one out, and maybe I have some good advice, but I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, the irony of everything, like every time I hear someone said like they're falling into like red pill podcasts or people making fun of woke people because they think they're so big brain, but it's like really in a way, you're kind of telling me that you just lost the ability to have critical thinking. So,
No, woke just means empathy.
yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's all
And
it means
people
now.
seem to lack that nowadays. But,
Yeah.
anyways, all right, story goes as this. Ooh, I ran out of breath there. So, I, 28 female, have an older brother, 34 male, that lives close by to me. I'm going to give a little background on him. I really love my brother and we get along really well. We have a good, albeit sometimes distance relationship, but we put up boundaries with one another when necessary and respect them. But he's pretty sensitive and sometimes pretty controlling slash judgmental. He also is into strange conspiracy theories and alternative medicine. For example, he didn't even get the COVID vaccine. That particular thing caused a big strain in our relationship, and I refused to see him for a while until things settled down, and I still keep my distance if he's seen too many people, etc. Excuse me. About 3 years ago, his fiance that he had been with for about 15 years split up with him. It totally destroyed him. She was most definitely a narcissistic person. I could confirm this myself. But ever since, he's been getting strange ideas about women. He's made some comments that didn't sit right with me. He thinks our mother, who they put that is the sweetest person ever and works so hard for her family, is slightly narcissistic for some reason. He thinks that she never cooks for the family and that she's taking advantage of my dad, even though my dad usually prefers it. He claims that our dad is codependent on her like he was with his girlfriend, and that must mean that our mom is somewhat of a narcissist.
What a crazy. Oh, my parents have a healthy relationship, uh, like I did at one point. That must mean it's gonna be
It,
destroyed,
projection like crazy, bro.
even though they've been together for, probably
Yeah,
50
so
years.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom and dad heard his spiel and had no clue what to say to it. They just let it roll off their backs because they're not very confrontational. Recently, I asked him if he would consider going out with a single mother. He had a very explosive reaction and said, "Hell no, I'm not raising someone else's kid." He went on saying, "Why, did she leave him? It's usually because she's the one that is cheating." Things like that. He also said something to the effect of women these days don't have any problem being sluts and sleeping around.
Like, so you had a bad relationship, which fair. She from OP's perspective, she didn't sound like a great person. Now
Yeah,
all women are the worst things in the world. Like, that's
agreed.
not how that works, dude. It's uh person by person basis, whether they're a shit person or not.
Agreed, brother. It really shocked me. I said, do you think I am that way?" And he denied that I was. He denied that I was and had no argument. I corrected him on everything, but I suspect he didn't listen. The thing that really drove my suspicion that he's becoming a red pillar is that when he pulled up his YouTube account, I saw he had a recommended video of a prominent red pillar. I knew of him because of some roasting videos that I saw on the exact guy. Later, I confronted him about it, and he shot back saying that our family never had any boundaries and that he can't trust me. I ended up apologizing for bringing it up because I don't want him to feel like I'm invading his privacy or something since the recommended video only popped up for a second, and I happened to see it. But we still talked about it a little, anyways. And he said, "I like him, he's fine, but I don't believe everything I hear. I just like hearing other people's opinions on things and then making my own opinion." I don't know. I'm really worried for him that he's still suffering and using this type of content and language as a coping mechanism. But I have no idea what to do about it. He's really awesome in so many other ways. We have a lot of fun together and he does listen to me on other things and understand me. But this seems to be a topic he's really riled up about and it's so extreme, it's terrifying to me. Can I have some advice? I genuinely want to help him if I can.
Um, I'd say, hmm, it's tricky because the person has to want to,
Hmm.
or not even want to, but like they have to be open to the idea
Yep.
of their ideals being wrong or their content creator being wrong, which for many people is difficult. You know, I think we like to pride ourselves on being able to be called out if we make a bad call, uh,
All the time.
because because if not, then how do you better yourself as a content creator and as a person? So a lot of these people, uh, the red pillar, specifically will never admit that they're wrong. They will never do that, which makes it harder for the audience to also do that. My recommendation is potentially opening them up to maybe the creators that you're watching who are, calling out bullshit. Maybe not directly this person exactly, but like people adjacent to this person, calling like YouTubers or streamers calling out people adjacent to that person. Maybe send them a clip or recommend that. That could be something that could get them, off the right wing rabbit hole that YouTube will promote you down, or at least open him up to be like, okay, these people might not know what they're talking about. I can open my ideas to other things. As many people are saying in chat too, therapy could be a good recommendation. I do worry that he might not be open to that, just based on everything we've heard so far. But it is a good thing to maybe recommend him getting, or get someone else in your family to recommend him going to, because I feel that will help a lot as well.
Oh, 100% completely with everything that you said, Josh. Like a lot of the suggestions that I was going to have, you already said it, so I have nothing to add on that. I guess the only thing that I would like to like discuss is more so on OP themselves instead of like the brother, because Josh, again, you laid out everything I wanted to say. I also got to say, OP, like based on the suggestions that Josh said, try that. Also, if things don't work out, you also have to be able to like save your sanity here, right? Like if it feels like a lot of the things that you're saying here could potentially like affect your mental health down the line. And I always like to believe that, like every time they give you a briefing at an airplane or something, you got to put your mask on first. And probably this guy doesn't believe in masks, so that's another whole story we can talk
Not even
about. But
oxygen masks.
yeah, not even oxygen mask. Yeah, you got to put on your mask first. So if every of those steps don't work, or any of the suggestions that Sean or Josh and the rest of the comments like say about your brother, it's okay to step back sometimes. Like sometimes they have to learn their own way and find out that, hey, things are not really what it seems to be, and some people might not be like the best type of content that I should be listening to. It's unfortunate that they're going down that way, and it's unfortunate that their worldview has skewed because of like the experience from like one person, which understandably could be very painful, and he probably has some trauma that he has to address. But kind of like what Josh said, like he can't do anything unless, and you can't do anything unless he's willing to entertain that, or at least be open to the idea that, hey, I think I'm kind of a piece of shit. So
Yeah.
um yeah, save yourself too, be as open as possible to them, lay out your concern, bear it all, and say like, hey, I'm just concerned for you as a sister, as someone who loves you very dearly. I'm afraid that your kind of behavior and the way your worldview right now is very concerning to me. And if he doesn't, if he feels apathy about it, or he's not receiving you in a good way, maybe it's time to like step back a little bit and maybe try again another time. So that's kind of my only advice for OP at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Because everyone's had like, well, I'm not everyone, but when I was in my early 20s, like I listened to Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like I had shitty takes that it took me a time to grow out of and
Same.
become a better person. This guy is devolving, which is not great. But hopefully, he has good family and friends around him that can keep him on the like above water, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's harder and harder once they get further and further down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of being human, right? Like sometimes you gotta you have certain ways of you like thinking things. Maybe it's your upbringing, maybe it's your life experience, but to be human is to make mistakes, to make errors, and to openly admit that, hey, maybe there's other ways of thinking about this. Hey, maybe I should learn about a new like outlook or a different opinion about something. It's okay to change. Your personality doesn't have to be tied to one thing, and it has to be there forever. People's mindsets and ideals are fluid. So like
Yeah,
it's okay to live and learn, make mistakes, but also be willing to own up and move forward and be a better person for it.
it's actually healthy to change, right?
Yeah, very healthy. I was a
Especially
real
since
piece of shit.
yeah, especially since society and everything changes so quickly. It's just like yeah, it's good to be fluid, to adjust to, the next generation, like, and be accepting. So I don't know. It's
Yeah. I mean, not to get political, but me and Julia had this conversation a few days ago, and I was just like, for the longest time, I was like apolitical, and then it took me, hanging out with you guys and just talking to a bunch of other people. It's just like, I probably made that choice back then because a lot of the issues never affected me, and I never cared about it.
that's what most people
So
are like too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like now it's just like hearing these things and seeing how the world is evolving is just like, all right, well, I leaned one way before, but now I'm leaning this certain way. If like, you know, let's say a new political party like comes up and they're doing stupid shit, I'm gonna go back and say like, hey, I can change my views again if like the said party is like doing stupid things. Like
Yeah.
it's okay to evolve. It's okay
Yeah.
to like, to have different varying opinions, and that's fine. That's what make people people.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on to my last one here. This one, we're going to a classic Am I the Asshole?
Ooh.
Posted by common lower score grounder. And the title is Am I the Asshole for embarrassing my husband's coworker for embarrassing me and my husband?
So you're embarrassing the coworker that embarrassed you, and then now they're embarrassed for being embarrassed.
Yeah, a bit of a petty revenge as well.
Damn, I love it. Not the asshole. Embarrass the fuck out of people if they deserve it.
All right, so a few months ago, after many years of trying to conceive, my husband, 32 male, and I, 33 female, had a healthy, gorgeous baby boy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. My husband and I are black, which is pertinent to this story. We were over the moon, and family and friends and coworkers have been excited for us. Right after I delivered, my husband emailed a birth announcement with a photo of our son to everyone in his office. Fast forward a couple weeks, and my husband came home fuming about after his first day being back at work. One of his coworkers informed him that another guy in the office, a new young employee, who my husband barely knew, had been telling everyone willing to listen that my husband couldn't be my son's father because, quote, that baby is too light to be his and his hair is too long and straight. That's a white man's baby or an Asian's, end quote.
It sounds like that Cat Williams movie with Tiffany Haddish. That baby is from the mountain of what the fuck? Caucasus mountain of Caucasus or something like that. I don't remember that scene.
But also insane to make a
It's like
proclamation.
It's like a brand new baby, right? Like chances are like they're probably gonna
Well, also-
genetics is stupid. Or
Yeah, I was gonna
stupid,
say,
but funny.
They could have white people further back in their
Yeah.
ancestry. It's genetics is a wild thing, but you don't even really know this person, and you're making this proclamation that that baby can't be his.
Dude, I was like super white as a baby, and now I'm super tan and beautiful.
I was also super white as a baby,
And you still are, bro.
Still are. This guy proceeded to tell everyone what a sucker my husband was and that his excitement over finally becoming a dad was blinding him to the reality that he had been cheated on and his wife impregnated by another man. Speaking of red pillars.
Boy.
Side note for anyone who's still unaware, it's 2025. Black babies are generally fairly pale as newborns, and their skin will darken over the first few weeks. Hair changes to curlier patterns are usually gradual as well. Our son was no exception and is now my hubby's mini-me. My husband said he had immediately confronted and questioned the guy, who completely denied saying anything inappropriate and claimed he only said it as a joke. The baby was too cute to be my husband's. But others in the office confirmed the first coworker's account. Not only that, the guy has tried to parlay his superior perception skills into some weird form of workplace clout. I don't understand that, but fortunately, the guy got moved to a different shift that same week, so my husband didn't have to see him again. That is until a company event over this past weekend. Families were invited, and we took our son. And who should come and insert himself into our group as we were chatting with the boss but Brown-Noser McMouthy. He interrupted our conversation and introduced himself to the boss, shaking his hand. When I realized who he was, my anger came flooding back, and I said, I don't believe we met. But aren't you the guy who went around telling everyone in the office I must have cheated on my husband with a white or Asian man and this couldn't have been my son. The guy went red and silent, and the boss said to him, "See me in my office first thing Monday," and walked away. I think someone's fired. My husband and I went too. My husband said I went too far because it was already over and done with. I said it wasn't done with for me until I'd had my say, and I was the one being defamed, not him. So am I the asshole?
Talk your shit, Mama Bear. You were too nice.
Yeah. I mean, if your husband probably should have done that to begin with, taken it
Yes.
to HR or the boss and reported that.
Absolutely.
So good on you. Good on you for taking it to him and getting him fired, because no one should be allowed to be a piece of shit like that to coworkers.
What a dumbass.
Or
And yeah,
anyone.
like a lot of people are saying in our chat, like, genetics is kind of, it varies, right? And
Yeah.
it's some people are like, some people in chat saying like, hey, I was like lighter when I was younger, and then like I got darker throughout the time, and which is, I mean, that's, and plus the ultimate thing about this too is it is none of your goddamn business. Why are you so
Exactly.
pressed about other people's babies, about other people's, like lives, to the point that you are being the office gossip girl? What are you doing, homeboy?
Yeah, it's also just so stupid, because it's like maybe they did have infertility issues, as they said earlier, and they went a different method. Like
What if they had a surrogate?
exactly
Or
there,
yeah,
or there's plenty of other different ways they could have gone about this, and yeah, maybe it is not actually his biological child, but
but that's still their kid.
exactly, he still decided to have that baby. So it's none of your fucking business. Yeah, I just truly shut the fuck up. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Like
Congratulate
Rachel
him.
said on our Patreon chat, saying nothing is free.
Yes, it is. It is.
And if you are gonna say
easier.
something, it's a saying of congratulatory statement. Say like, "Hey, congratulations for being a father."
Yeah.
And that's all you gotta say, and shut the fuck up the rest of the way. Boy, what are you doing? Wait, I don't get paid enough for work to be spreading gossip. What are you? Oh my god.
Bobo in chat said, "This can't be his baby. He doesn't even have a beard. He doesn't wear glasses."
Oh man, people are, they got nothing better to do with their lives sometimes.
Truly not.
All right. You want to end it on a happy note, my brother?
That doesn't sound like us, but we can do it.
All right. This one is posted by Swagio11. And I feel like the Wikimaniacs are going to appreciate this because it's the return of the coconut.
Oh no. The
And the title,
cocussy?
the cocussy. That's why I said there's happy ending. The title of this story is Today I Fucked Up by Listening to Reddit on Wiki.
I could have told you that.
You do be fucking up every time you listen to us. All right. I feel like we got to do a Coconut April merch now, Josh.
I mean, I was telling Sean we should do a gaycation summer drop. Maybe we just add the coconut.
A coconut tree in there.
Coconut tree as well.
Because he said he won't release it until November. And he's very adamant about that.
He is.
He is the CFO for a reason.
He controls the store.
That's true. All right. Story goes as this, brother. The only podcast I listen to regularly is Reddit on Wiki, which I've listened to since 2022. And they're even a patron.
Thank you.
Woo, thank you. I usually listen out loud when driving or doing housework, so my husband has occasionally overheard. He, however, has no podcast interest and doesn't understand Reddit, so we've never discussed the podcast. Shame on your husband.
I mean, I gotta say, it's like, it would be a weird, it's a hard thing to describe, I guess, like Reddit as a concept. It's like it's a website with smaller websites on it with super niche topics. Okay.
I was listening to a recent episode quite loudly as I was tidying out cupboards, and as my husband walks in the room, all he hears is "fucked a coconut" and a short bit of the coconut story. His face a mixture of confusion and disgust. He just silently walks out and shuts the door. We've never mentioned it, but my husband must definitely be questioning who he married and what kind of site is Reddit.
Well, it can be that kind of site for sure.
I know, I've seen some.
Uh, truly, this is my peek behind the curtains. Like my family and Sienna's family kind of understand what I do. Like they understand podcasting to a degree. But they're always like, oh, I've never listened. And I never encourage them to listen.
No.
Specifically because of episodes like that. I'm just worried they're going to just, random scroll to an episode and click play. And that's the first thing they're going to hear and be like, what the fuck is Josh into? And then I'm going to have conversations with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so it affects me on my day-to-day life where, where my family or Sienna's family will be like, yeah, where can I find your podcast? I'll be like, God, don't worry about it.
I've said too much dick jokes to go back now.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point.
My dad does listen occasionally, so
I know, he told it.
I don't know if he's listened to that story, but
He's like, I listened to a few, and me and Sean were just like, fuck.
Which ones?
Which one?
If we let this weirdo marry our daughter. Truly, yeah.
Truly.
Do we post the coconut on TikTok?
I don't think we did, and I don't think we should.
No, I just think we get
we'll get the
shadow
monetized
banned immediately.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. So, crazy. But yeah, I mean, apologies to your partner for hearing that story, and for everyone else.
I will say though, like the only reason why I've known that coconut story ever existed is because you guys,
in the live chat,
you guys begged for it.
The sweet cocussy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is it for us. We got about like 7 minutes to kill, Josh. Like, you guys have any questions or anything you'd like to bring up, everyone?
Yeah. I guess we could shout out the merch again.
Hell yeah.
We got Reddit On Wiki shop.com. Links will be in the description. It'll be up for another week and a bit. 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know. March is long.
Depends on Sean.
Yeah. It depends on. It could be early April.
My boy is getting his master's degree, so it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, Sean will be the most educated out of us.
That's scary.
But yeah, so go check out that. Vanessa, thank you for living in my ears for the past 2 years. From the first episode, you've been awesome to listen to. Thank you very much.
Ray asked, Jine.
Yeah.
Advance for asking for a raise. I'm what's a WOC? And so advocating for myself in corporate scares me, LOL. My best advice, and this is always kind of what I've done, is immediately have that interest or have that conversation immediately with your one-on-ones with your manager. If your manager is great, you can actually be proactive about it and say like, hey, this is what I am thinking, and this is kind of what I bring to the table. I always have separate like folders on my inbox where if I had any like business partners or any clients that did said something positive about like the work I've done or like any progress or projects that I did a great job at, like I always put that on like a separate folder, bring it on my monthly one-on-ones or quarterly one-on-ones. And then I also like do a proactive job of looking into like market insights. So if you go to like, Department of Labor has it where you can see like the projection of the growth of like the current job that you're in, and you could see what like the market value it currently has. If it's aligned with your company, say like, hey, I see that the market right now is dictating like, let's say your title is a HR manager. They see the HR manager is making X amount. Like I'm currently here. Like what can I do? Like to improve myself so that way I can get to that X amount of money that you want. So you always go to a meeting where you bring data to the table, so that way your manager can't dispute it. And there's always documentation saying like, hey, I brought this up. I brought it up that I want this specific like career development plan. So if they keep denying you shit, maybe it's also your time to like go look elsewhere as well and take your talents elsewhere.
Hell yeah. Didn't know this was going to turn into
advice section.
An advice podcast. But that was good. That was a good answer. Emily asked in chat, if you guys changed the name of the podcast, what would you change it to?
I never thought about that.
Yeah, because the OKOP guys did recently,
Yeah, they
right?
did. They
Yeah,
did.
they changed their name.
Yeah.
I always worry about doing that because then it's just like, well, like you've already built an audience. What if they try and search you up or something like that?
True.
Would they be able to find you? Then you have to change all your socials as well.
Got to pay for another website, which is
Yeah.
expensive.
I would just name it Reddit, so it's the first thing that comes up. Reddit stories? I don't know. The other thing is
That's too basic. Yeah.
I'd have to do research on like what other podcasts are out there. Yeah.
Okay, we're rebranding to Kokusi.
Kokusi merch?
Yeah.
All right, Kokusi.
The Kokusi
Honka
podcast.
podcast.
What's up, Honkamaniacs?
Honka honka. Welcome back to another Friday.
Hi.
Fred asks, was Sean on time for his first day of school? I hope so. It was online, so I think so. Jenny asks, when will all the wives be on again? I want to ask them how to survive your partner pursuing their dream by working themselves to the bone.
It's gonna be difficult for Juliet because she's also a full-time student on top of doing full-time.
I feel
work,
Juliet works harder.
She's a beast.
Yeah,
she is. I don't know how she does it, to be honest.
She's a girl boss in her own right.
Shit.
So yeah, I guess whenever Juliet's free. Sienna is also getting into busy season now too with her work. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely have them on again. Whether it'll be at the same time or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
BBJZMN says St. Pat's theme call to action. You find a leprechaun, but he's out of gold. He gives you a wish instead. What do you wish for?
What do I wish for? Damn.
No more billionaires.
Okay. I guess I'll have one personal wish and like a wish for the show. How about that?
Okay.
Personal wish that might benefit everybody. Reduce work hours, but still keep, kind of keep the pay, but like adjust it towards the time so that way everyone can enjoy life a little bit better.
Oh, everyone. Like you mean everyone?
Yeah.
I understand. I thought you meant us, and I was like,
No.
We don't work that crazy about.
Nah, we don't work like that crazy. Yeah, but like I'm saying, everyone. This is just like personal. I want everyone to enjoy life. All right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I guess selfishly for the show, honestly, I think we've done a great job of like organically growing. But we want a little bit more exposure, in my opinion. I think our content is up there, and I wholeheartedly believe that we're, we have a good thing going, and so I hope people discover us more.
Hell yeah, I love that one. I already said mine, so. My personal wish is that my body will stop falling apart because I'm trying to get back into like, exercising consistently.
Brother, if we live next to each other, we'd be going to the gym all the time together.
We would be, but I honestly, I keep like, I hurt my back the other day,
no.
and then what was it the other night? My groin. Like I pulled my groin, so I couldn't do any running for like a week.
Doing what?
No, it was just like exercising. I'm getting old and I hate it.
Exercise with an S in the front? What you doing,
buddy? First person on Energy said, thinking ahead to Pride Month, you should do a merch that says, sorry, I have a nut allergy with a rainbow. For lesbians, you could incorporate coconut somehow, I'm sure. That's a good one. We also released the Gaycation merch again for that month. That'd be a great one. Let's do a couple more.
Yeah, do a couple more.
Damn, so many messages. I apologize if I miss one. John, who should I talk to if my manager has told me that I'm finally immigrating out of this country?
Wait, what?
John, who should I talk to if my manager has told me if I'm finally immigrating out of this country?
Should I talk to if my manager has told me I don't get it.
No, I don't either. Okay, sorry.
That might be like possibly like a visa or immigration question, and
could be.
Unfortunately, I know nothing about that. I'm so sorry.
Emily says, I would love to see you have Dustin Pointer on the podcast, which leads us to a next thing. I think we got a couple guests coming up for next month.
Yes.
So get excited for that. They are previous guests, so that's a little hint as to who you can expect.
British.
Both.
So we will talk shit about beans and toast the whole time. But unfortunately, Sean won't be in any of them because he's too busy.
Or fortunately, that might be.
Unfortunately, that's
it
true.
might just break out into a fight. All right. I think we'll end it on that.
Yeah.
John's getting another, you know who, calling him Alexa.
Probably.
But yeah, that is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. We appreciate you sticking by. Like I said, this will be
now connected to desktop 73 FAA 914.
What are you doing?
I forget what I was going with that now. This will be posted to audio sometime this afternoon.
Yes.
/ early evening. But I'm going to go for a run and enjoy this nice weather.
Please be careful with your groin.
Yeah, I will try not to pull or hurt myself anymore. I just
record yourself rubbing it.
$15 tier. But yeah, we'll say goodbye on that, and we appreciate you guys for sticking by, hanging out with us today, and we will see you on Thursday, tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, it's almost
honka, 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 honka,
Bye.
honka, honka.